Hey my friends, this is Daniel Alley, and today I want to talk with you about a very important subject, and it's about overcoming depression. Now, I know what some of you might be saying. Maybe you're not facing depression right now, but I'm sure you probably have before, or you probably will in the future. So I want to give you some tips that you can use that can help you to overcome any depression that you might face, or even help others to overcome their depression themselves. Now, if you personally have depression right now, I want you to listen especially carefully. I want you to really understand what I'm saying and really know that everything's gonna work out. It might be tough where you are right now. You might not like who you are, but the fact is that in your own skin, everything is going to work out, and you've been created for a reason. And follow these tips if you really want to overcome depression and become a happier person. The first idea is to realize that you are important. You are a child of God. You are a child of the universe. You were created to do something special in your life. You have a talent, a skill, a gift, an ability that you might not even know you have. But once you realize what that is, and if you're able to use it, you will become a happier person in the end. Or maybe you already know what your gift is, but you feel like you cannot exercise it. Maybe you feel trapped, like where you live or even who you live with, and what you feel like you can do with that gift. But the fact is that you have to have faith, and you have to know that eventually everything's going to work out. Everything is going to manufacture the right result if you continue to believe in yourself. So realize that you are important, that some way, somehow, that gift will be utilized, and you are just a part of the grand scheme of things. Once you realize that you can help a lot of people by first helping yourself, then you will be able to get past this form of depression. Imagine if you passed away today, and how many people would actually show up? Now I know some of you might think, well, no one cares about me, and no one's gonna show up at my funeral. But the fact is that many people will. In fact, more people than you can ever imagine. So try to imagine what your funeral will look like, because people will show up, because people really care about you. And if you realize that, then you'll be able to get past that depression. One way that I found that people really cared about me was during my college graduation. I went to a community college and I got my associate's degree, and I really thought that the whole world was against me. And I remembered that there were 12 people that showed up at my graduation. I was only expecting my intermediate family, which was only 4 people. But when I saw 12 people and who they were, I was amazed. I was like, wow, these people really love me. They're really here for me. They're really supporting me. And they gave me the boost that I really needed. And it actually helped me to overcome my depression at that time. The second tip is to write your thoughts out. Maybe you might want to keep a journal, or even write a letter to God. Write a letter to your future self, your 50-year-old self, or your 100-year-old self, or even to your great-grandchildren, and talk about your highest aspirations, your biggest ideals. But also talk about some of your fears, some of your concerns, and be able to get it all out there. You see, the fact is that if you identify with your emotions, once you realize what your fears are and realize that they have no control over your life, then you will be able to be liberated in the long term. After you watch this video, break out a piece of paper and write down all your thoughts. Now, you might not think that you have anything to write, but I promise you, as soon as you put the pen on the paper or pencil, it's just gonna flow, and you're gonna be able to release so much stress. You're gonna be able to see a deeper version of yourself because you took the moment to understand your thoughts and your emotions. The third tip for overcoming depression is to never compare yourself with other people. What I realized is that comparison is the thief of joy, and if you're gonna compare yourself to other people, then you're never gonna be like them. You see, if you're trying to be what other people want you to be, or you're trying to be like other people, then who's gonna be you? You see, you are your own divine package. You are your own person. You have your own identity, your own character. And you have to realize that you're something special, that you have some greatness within you. The fact is that you can never become someone else. So why even bother? Why look at other people and their brands, or look at them and their girlfriends, their boyfriends, or any other thing that someone have? You might have an envious or even a jealous attitude about them, But once you're aware that you have this, it will eventually dissipate. Once you realize that this cancerous thing is hanging on to you, that you have some kind of hate or anger, and let go of it, you're going to be able to break free. So the fact is that you got to stop comparing yourself to other people or even other situations. You might say, well, I'm 25 and I'm not as far as this person is or as that person is, or I haven't traveled the world like these people. The fact is that you can have it, right? You can have it, but you have to wait and you have to stop comparing yourself and you have to do what you can do, because you can't do what they can do. You can only do what you can do. So stop comparing yourself right now. The fourth tip is to change your routine. A lot of people end up getting stuck in a rut because they have the same routine. They go to the same school, they drive the same car, they sleep in the same bed, they have the same pillow, right? They never change anything up. And so you gotta be able to make some changes within your life. Try a different style, try a different environment, go to a new place, take an adventure, try to switch it up, and I promise you, you'll feel a lot better about yourself. Another thing you might wanna change is your diet. Maybe you've been eating food that maybe isn't so good for you. Or maybe you've been eating food that's so good and you just want a nice bite of something fatty or something sweet. Either way, try to switch it up so you can be happier. There's always something you can do. Maybe you are on substances. Maybe you smoke cigarettes like I used to smoke. Or maybe you drink alcohol every night, or you smoke weed, or whatever it is. Try to stop that. Try to change your behavior. Try to change the way you pursue your daily life. And I promise you that once you change that routine, you'll be able to change your whole lifestyle and you'll feel a lot better in return. The last and final tip is actually a combination of all the tips I shared with you today, but it's to learn yourself. You see, when you know yourself, you can grow yourself. And when you can be yourself, you can free yourself. But you must know exactly how you feel and learn more about yourself and your purpose if you want to overcome your own depression. Another great fact is that depression could be short-term or it could be long-term. Sometimes depression could be a couple hours or just a couple days, or it could be as long as a couple months or a couple years. So you have to realize what kind of depression you have. Is it chronic, right? Is it something you need to get help for? Because if it is, then you gotta stop working. You gotta check yourself in and try to talk to a counselor if you can. Try to spend time with people that you care about. Try to get the facts straight, right? Because if you feel like you can't go on in life, if you feel like you're suicidal and the tips that I say isn't gonna help you to get past that, then you've gotta seek professional help. And if you do this, it will help you to get past that depression and help you to reach those goals that you eventually have. In summary, I hope that you can overcome any kind of depression that you have. If it's financial depression or spiritual depression or even sexual depression, whatever it is, overcome it. Try to work toward it. Try to become more of who you are. And I promise you, you're going to be much happier in the long term.